All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Cuda Education. Today, I want to introduce you guys to the Metal API, Metal 4 API to be specific. So, just so you know, along with my Vulkan development, I will also be pursuing the Metal 4 API. Metal is the computer graphics interface for all Apple devices. So Mac OS, iOS, Vision OS, TV OS, basically anything OS. Um, and I figured I'm already learning so much in Vulkan that I believe that learning Metal would be an easy addition. Um, there's a little bit of history behind all of this, also, though. Both Vulkan and Metal is derived from an original API called Mantle. And Mantle was created by AMD, and using AMD, Apple went the route of creating Metal. The Kronos group, which was in charge of OpenGL, went the route of creating Vulkan. And here we are. The main advantages of these modern APIs is that it's low level. You have real control over the GPU, and sort of what happens in terms of how your application runs, which means you get performance enhancements and optimizations and things like that. This is a highly politicized space, and I don't care to join in the politics. Um, I am not loyal to Microsoft. I am not loyal to Windows. I'm not loyal to Kronos Group. I'm not loyal to Apple. I'm not loyal to any particular technology platform. I'm simply here to learn and to teach. Um, so I'm learning so much about computer graphics. Obviously, um, Apple devices are very popular and are here to stay. And it's just a natural progression. I will be doing development in parallel, so don't worry if you are a Vulkan focused individual. Um, I will be dedicating time to both Vulkan and Metal. Obviously, my Vulkan development is further along than my Metal development, but I suspect that I will be able to catch up with Metal simply because, I know a lot of this stuff uh, in terms of the jargon, the processes, the approaches, surprisingly very similar between Vulkan and Metal because again, Mantle was the baseline, okay, and then Apple took Metal to a certain place, and then the Kronos group eventually came out with Vulkan, which is the modern iteration of OpenGL, right? Um, so there you have it. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. I'm excited. If you are artistically inclined and have a lot to offer the world in terms of visuals or anything of that nature, learn learn either Vulkan or Metal. I am learning. I'm starting my journey literally in the beginning of 2026. So come along with me. I don't pretend to be an expert in anything. I simply learn and teach. As I learn, I teach. Um, and that's pretty much it. And there you have it, guys. Uh, I'll be going through the different examples here, that is freely offered for the Metal for API, and working my way through it. In order for you to run Metal 4 specifically, you need a modern MacBook I guess the M chips is what the M series chips, M4, what have you. And basically, the way how it works is you download Xcode. Xcode is sort of the GUI for programming in the Apple ecosystem. So you download Xcode. You download a sample app, for example, the Hello Triangle, and then when you attempt to build it, it's gonna give you a bunch, one or two errors. The first main error for me was that I had to choose the proper device. So I'm running on a MacBook, so I had to choose Mac OS. But there are other devices that you could choose, like you could choose iOS or tvOS or something like that, right? So I was running on the wrong device, and that was creating problems. Um, and then also the signing certificate. So there's a development signing certificate that it defaults to. You want to choose sign in locally or something like that, right? The signing certificate. So you just keep attempting to run the application, the build, and then it will you know you will sort out whatever error it has. You just double click on the error that comes up, the red icon, X icon, and then you will be able to sort it out. Pretty painless to install this and run it. It's just that for me, I'm not an Apple guy necessarily. I kind of grew up on Windows desktop, so just learning the Appleness of the Mac world, right? Just learning that was kind of a hindrance to me. But literally, I mean, I suspect for someone that kind of is familiar with how Mac works, and even if you're familiar with Xcode, you could get this stuff running in under an hour easily, 30 minutes even. But for me, I'm just even trying to figure out, where applications live and all that stuff, and just dealing with the windowing system and all that. So it took me about 2 hours, but that's just me. If you're a Mac guy, I'm sure it would be a lot easier. There's also a simulator, so you can simulate an iOS device like an iPhone and run the samples on the iPhone. Now there are a couple other hiccups. So for the more advanced samples, specifically the samples that deal with ray tracing and other curved things and things of that nature. I did get an error where it said your operating system is not advanced enough to run this application. So it wasn't a hardware problem. It was that the operating system wasn't updated. So I literally had to update my operating system, and then I was able to run those things. You will also get errors saying certain packages need to be downloaded or included in order for you to run this example. So as you get that message, you download the packages, right, in Xcode, and generally it will run as promised, right? Um, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, I'm excited. I want to see how much you know just see what metal is all about, and all of that stuff. I don't intend this channel to be a comparison between Vulkan and metal, right? I'm not here to highlight or downplay one technology over the other or anything like that. That's not my nature. I'm just here to learn and to teach. Now, if there are parallels, I will highlight the parallels, but I'm not here to say one or the other, or to give favor to one or the other. I'm just here to learn and teach, as I said. So that's pretty much it, guys. Again, if you're artistically inclined, this is the future. Really and truly, this computer graphics stuff is it's really programming your GPU. So programming your GPU is a very important skill for the modern era. We are halfway into this decade, more than halfway into this decade, and obviously the next decade it's going to be heavily machine learning, artificial intelligence, LLMs, GPT stuff, all that stuff, right? So and a lot of it runs on GPUs because it needs the parallel processing and it needs the neural networks and all that stuff. So programming your GPU is going to be an important skill. Um, I know. For example, on the Apple hardware, they are for the Apple hardware, they're shipping as part of the latest chips. They're shipping neural network hardware on it. Okay, so you could literally take advantage of the hardware, the neural network hardware on your machine in order to do stuff, right? Obviously, I am interested in using that to what they call neural shaders, right? So taking advantage of that hardware to upsample or to make high definition visuals, you know more appealing but less expensive for your system, because the neural network is basically learning and then just extrapolating and doing it efficiently instead of having to literally run the meshes and all that stuff, right? So at a bare minimum, even if you don't care particularly about computer graphics and the visuals, just learning coding, learning GPU programming, learning high performance computing. This has many applications in science, any kind of data science, research, medical, visuals, business process, business management, all of that stuff. Computer graphics is um, is important. It's not just here for video games. Although I do have a story about video games. So recently, there was a Game Awards, and the Game Awards spoke about basically, it talked about a team from France won the independent game of the year, right? So it's an independent studio. It's not one of the big wigs. It's an independent studio that won game of the year. You could look it up online. I came across it online. I don't remember the name of the game. Sorry, guys, but you could look it up online. But anyway, it was a team of guys who in France who got together, who had a vision for a game, and literally had to learn how to learn computer graphics from scratch, right? And they thanked everyone, especially the people that made tutorials online and stuff, for teaching them how to make the game. And the game was wildly successful. It has a weird name, so it's one of those weird name games, but it's wildly successful. They're definitely their name is on the map. Their studio is on the map, and you know I'm sure they're gonna be making a new title or coming out with other titles and stuff. But it all started with just having a vision for a game and working on it day in and day out. Um, and that is something that if you are interested in, you start with the basics and chip at it every day. I'm sure you have goals for 2026. um, work through your goals, and time is expensive. Don't waste time. So I'm here. I'm going to be learning metal. I'm still going to be learning Vulkan and going through the examples on the Vulkan side. But yeah, guys. This is a new thread that I'm starting. So please like, subscribe, tell your friends. Let's build a channel, guys. Let's build a channel. Um, and get a bunch of friends together to start on a project and hold each other accountable, right? So you guys work together as a group. I'm sure you guys have machines, whether it's Windows machines or Apple machines, and you just work through the examples as I'm gonna do, and we learn together. So this is Cuda Education. In order for you to run Metal 4 again, you need like a modern, I think maybe it's M4 chip, I don't know, but you need like a modern processor. I believe that if you can't run Metal 4, you could just run Metal, which is just like the baseline thing. And for most things, for most of the examples, I believe, even, I mean, obviously for the Hello Triangle, but for most examples, you will be able to run the examples on the regular Metal hardware. So if you have older M chips or stuff, you will be able to follow along and learn. Now for the ray tracing stuff, it gets a little tricky, and for the more advanced things where but I'm not, I'm nowhere near that yet. So yeah, guys, I'm sure if you've been in the Apple world for a while, you know much more than me. But this is Cuda Education. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, build a community in your neck of the woods. You know, time is expensive. Don't waste it too much. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.